Hi guys, this is Alessia.
And this is Olivia.
And this is Time Out.
Welcome back.
I don't even know if we did that right.
That's fine. Right? It's okay. That's fine. We'll work with it. We're still new at this. This is our second episode. So in today's episode, we wanted you guys to get to know us a bit more. So we have this little cup with a bunch of different prompts. And they all kind of relate to different stories in our lives.
Yeah.
So we decided that we were going to pick one and then tell a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and before we begin, we got asked a question on our little Google form.
You've been looking forward to this question.
I have. And that is to Olivia, I'm assuming, what is the craziest thing you've seen Alessia do?
It's so funny. We were talking about this on the phone last night, and you were very curious to know what my answer was.
I want to know. I'm scared. I'm actually worried.
You don't have to be worried because, like I told you, it's not crazy to you, but to me, it's insane. I couldn't do it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
One of the craziest things I've seen you do, is getting into a car with someone you met on Bumble for the first time meeting them in person.
That's the craziest thing? Ew, why did I laugh like that? That's the craziest thing you've seen me do.
Yes. Well, the other craziest thing I've ever seen you do is get drunk off of, one drink at
the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Didn't I call someone?
Yeah, she likes to drunk call people a lot. She does that a lot. Every time she's gotten drunk in my presence, she's drunk called someone.
I've been really good at not doing that.
That is just not the case.
But I haven't done it in a while.
Are you lying to our audience right now?
I haven't done it.
You lied to our audience right now.
I have not done it in a while.
How long is a while? 3 weeks?
No, a month. Oh my god.
I don't know what it is in her brain. She just decides once she's in a drunk state, she's I don't know what it is. You're just I'm just gonna call this person. I'm just gonna call this guy, and I'm
I feel like
every time.
I feel like I'm not the only one who does this, but I feel like the logic behind that is when you're sober, it's you don't want to talk to that person, but it's when you're not sober, you want to tell them everything and cuss them out. So that's probably why I do that.
I mean, that's very fair. That's very valid.
Yeah.
It's just wild that you do it every single time. Without fail, every single time.
That's why I don't drink anymore.
Oh, come on.
I literally, I don't...
So what was you calling me? You're oh, I've had one drink. I've had one drink. I'm drinking at home. What is that? That was 2 weeks ago. Probably not even. That was probably a week ago.
It was less than a week ago. Okay,
I don't drink anymore.
I don't drink as often anymore as I do. I don't. No, you can't even lie. I don't. I don't drink as much as I do.
Anyways, so it's the craziest, one of the craziest things Alessia's done. I can remember times at, school where I thought, you had done crazy things, but, that's because we were, 10.
What? What?
I don't know, just, getting into the trouble, getting into the principal's office, shit like that.
Yeah, that's valid.
But, yeah.
We have to put featuring Nicholas now.
Now we get to mention him.
Okay, who's gonna go first?
You, go first.
No, rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So I go first, right?
Okay, sure.
Wait, the loser
or
winner?
No, you pick for me, I guess, right?
Okay, yeah, we'll do it that way.
Okay, sure, why not? Why not?
Not gonna look.
Why is he singing, bro? Does he know we're recording? Okay, it's fine.
Probably. Okay. Biggest fear and why?
Needles, because...
Really?
Yes, that is my biggest fear. Because I hate them, and as a child, I reacted really strongly to them, so I feel in turn, that's just made it harder to get over as you get older.
Yeah.
I hated them as a kid, And then it just, like, did not get better as I got older. So.
Yeah, I feel like, no, I'm the opposite. Like, I'll literally look when they're giving me a needle.
Like, that's,
like,
psychotic behavior. That's what that is. That is psychotic.
No, because, like, don't you, like, I feel like my logic behind it is, like, you want to see what they're doing. Like, you want to make sure
I want to know that's happening.
Like, breaking your, like, your skin or something.
What the heck? She's a psychopath, okay?
I will look. I will literally look.
Okay, no, I can't do that. I can't go on because we will just go on and on about this. Like, I can't. Okay.
Don't look. No peeking.
Okay. Dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Explain why.
I mean, I guess my biggest dream would to be, like, to have a family one day and, like, to get married, but, like, that's kind of, like, generic. I don't know. Recently, I've been wanting to do more, like, social media work, so definitely kind of basing a career around that. I did mention in the last episode before, I am a psychology major, so definitely having a career also with psychology is something that I really want to do. My hopes, I guess, like, I hope I can do it. Like, I hope I get there. But, yeah, I definitely hope to better my skills. Because with psychology, a lot of people don't realize this. Like, you need to know, like, statistics. You need to know, like, research. You need to know how to code. I'm really learning how to code right now.
You're learning coding?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
I mean, I've been teaching myself everything.
Really?
So, yeah. I'm a little coding master.
Wow,
yeah,
look at you go. Coding is hard, eh?
It is, yeah.
It's so hard.
And then aspirations, like, I aspire to, like, do, like, psychotherapy or something like that. I aspire to be a mother. I aspire to be a wife. I aspire to be a good friend. And every day I wake up and I try to be a better person. I aspire to do good things in this world. So, yeah.
How many kids do you want?
Okay, when I was, like, 10, I wanted 5 kids. And I was, like, hooked on, like, 5 kids. Maybe until, like, high school. And then I realized how expensive shit was and how expensive it is to have kids. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. So maybe, like, 3 at most.
Okay.
But, like...
That's a sizable, that's a good, like, that's a good max.
Yeah, but I feel like if I had daughters and they were like me, that's, like, the spawn of Satan right there.
With that in mind, let's move on to the next one.
I looked. I didn't mean to look.
Don't look. Don't do it.
Oh, I mean... driving horror stories.
Okay, so this is a bad one for me because I still have my learner's permit. So the only, I guess, horror story, it's not even really a horror story. So it was like maybe my 3rd time ever driving, and I was still like driving in like the parking lot at this point. So my parents took me to the parking lot at my home high school, and I was just kind of driving around. And then they're like, okay, now drive us home. And without giving too much away, the road that I had to drive home on at night, people like to speed on this road a lot. In fact, we had actually heard of someone like doing an insane like
I got pulled over on that street.
Yeah, like
everyone gets pulled over there.
Everyone speeds on that road. So at night.
Can I chime in?
Yes.
It's stupid because it's like I understand it's 50 with like a school zone and like it should be 50 while it's like school hours, which makes complete sense. But people aren't going to go 50 kilometers when it's like 7 p.m. They're going to go like 70. And that's what I was doing. It was a summer. School wasn't open unless it was summer school, but it was like after school hours. It was like the evening. And this cop pulls me over because I was going 70 in a 50. But I didn't get a ticket. I talked my way out of getting a ticket. And
how did you manage that?
I started to fake cry. Wow, like this is... And I told her that my cat was sick, and me and my sister were rushing home because we had to give him his medicine, and we were home alone, and my dad was at work. But, like, why would my dad be at work in the summer at 7 p.m.? I mean, you never know.
You never know.
But
But.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first time ever driving on a road ever, and it was that road. And I wanted to cry because I had to make a left-hand turn and just do all of this stuff that I was not ready for. But I did it, and I am alive to tell the story.
Yeah.
Hopefully, well, actually, not hopefully. There will probably be more driving horror stories as I keep driving.
Thank God I didn't get that one. Thank goodness. I have a lot. That has to be like a whole like
But that
segment
would
of
have
its
been
own.
like funny. Though.
Okay, then we'll tell one of them.
Okay, then tell one.
Okay. So I was initially going to take third year I'm in my second year of university. I was going to take third year courses. So there was one course I was in, and I like it seemed fine. Like it never said on the system that I couldn't take this course, because I found out the first day at that class that I didn't have enough credits. So I was like, damn, like whatever. So it was in the evening. So initially I was going to go home, figure all that out, email whoever had to email, and then get switched into another course that I had the correct credits for. So I'm on my way home, and I was like, you know what, I'm hungry. I've been out all day. I'm going to get some McDonald's. So I pull into, like, this McDonald's was not, like, relatively near my house, but, like,
I know what story this is.
Yeah, it was on the way, like, home. So I go there, and this parking lot's kind of busy, but it's not, like, something I've experienced a busy parking lot before. This is something that, you know, it was nothing to me. I didn't really think anything of it. I've been driving for, like, 2-3 years now. So, no, 2 years, yeah. So it was something I was used to. So as I'm driving out of the McDonald's, I got my food and everything. This guy decides to almost T-bone me. And luckily I pressed on my brakes. He pressed on his brakes. Nothing happened. But he rolled down his window and called me every single name in the book, every swear word you can think of, every derogatory word you could call a woman. Yeah. And then he cussed me out, told me he was going to get the cops on me because I wasn't paying attention, even though he was the one who almost T-boned me. And yeah. And then on the rest of the way home, I literally drove in silence, and then, like, I called you, and I was like,
called me.
I was in utter shock, and I'm like, this just happened, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was, like, It was shocking to hear you just, like, recount what had happened. Like, the audacity of people.
Yeah.
Like,
I could understand if something happened, like, you know, he let out his frustration because, like, his car got, you know, wrecked, but none of our cars got wrecked. Mm-hmm. So there was no need to call me those names, but
there's no need to call you those names in general, even if, you know, something
like,
did happen.
It was very uncalled for. I was more in shock, and I was apologizing to the guy, even though, like, it wasn't my fault. But it was more like a shocked feeling, I want to say. But that's, like, the worst I've ever had it. Knock on wood, but yeah, that was definitely a really crazy story driving. Yeah, it's my turn.
It is your turn.
I'm hoping for one so bad. Like, I'm hoping for one.
For what?
For one of these, but I'm not gonna say it.
Weirdest movie you've ever watched?
I don't even know. Oh my God, I don't even know. Okay, there's one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And I don't know what it's called, but, like, I feel like we've all seen this clip. It's, like, that woman who has, like, a butthole as a mouth. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, please elaborate.
There was this, like, Spanish, I think it was a Spanish movie, or, like, a film, and it was about, like, these people with, like, deformities and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, like, how they live their everyday lives. And there was this one lady who had, like, a butthole as a mouth, and her mouth was where her butthole was supposed to be.
That's crazy.
And, like, everyone would make fun of her.
You're really not gonna say Saltburn?
Oh my God, that was nothing compared to Saltburn.
Really?
You know what?
Really?
What's Saltburn more?
Saltburn was crazy. We watched Saltburn together. She watched it on the first time on her own, but the first time I watched it, I watched it with her. That was by far the craziest movie I've ever seen.
No, the lady with the butthole mouth was definitely the craziest I've ever seen. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
But I guess Saltburn would take a second place to the weirdest film I've ever watched. Because, like, okay, let's do, like, a film analysis right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Talk
You know
about
what?
it.
Let's do it.
I like the aesthetics of Saltburn. I like
Agreed.
how it's mid-2000s. It's very, like, it's not something you'd see every day. But there are just some scenes where I'm like...
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't quite sure the direction it was going. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there was no, like... It just... The structure felt very flimsy to me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, there was no real, like... I'm not quite sure how to explain it. Like, it wasn't, like, a normal structure. It was very much, like... Just very out of pocket and very out there. Which I can appreciate, and like I said, like she said, like the aesthetic was great.
Yeah.
You know, the 4:3 aspect ratio, I vibe with it. Okay, I vibe with it.
Who's your favorite character though?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mine's Venetia.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Venetia.
Yeah. I feel like Venetia, and who was what's his name? The cousin?
Farley.
Okay, Farley was terrible, don't get me wrong. But, like, he was just kind of funny. Like, the whole, like, you pay my rent. Like, that was kind of funny.
To a restaurant off Broadway to show me who you are. No, Farley was definitely...
Like, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't like Felix because I don't like when a person is too nice.
Yeah.
But I get why he was too nice, but he was also manipulated because he was easily manipulated because he was too nice.
Yeah.
And then Oliver, like, don't even get me started with Oliver.
Okay, well.
That's
man is a
another
psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's
I kind of agree. Like, Felix was, like, you know, he was painted as, like, the golden child, the golden boy, but, like, come on, that's it.
I've met people in my life who are like Felix, where they're so nice, they're so positive, and then they just get screwed over because they're so nice and positive, and they get used for that. Or people just get annoyed with them because humans are negative people, right?
And it's not realistic.
It's not realistic. Like, literally, if like, I'm injured or something and a person's constantly like, it's gonna be okay. Like, you just have to think, like, no, maybe I don't want to think good in that second. Maybe I want to think about I'm injured and I feel like shit. So, that's why I didn't like Felix. That's why I didn't like Felix, because he was too nice.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's very valid. All right.
I'm hoping you're not getting it, because I want to answer one that's like, oh, I have such a good story for it.
You have a lot more of the juicy stories.
I didn't mean to look again. No, you got the one that I wanted. Scariest experience.
Oof.
You want me to take that one? I could pick another for you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one I'm gonna answer because I have a really good story.
Yeah,
okay, I'll pick again.
I don't put myself in scary situations. Like, that's not, like...
Funniest story.
Oh, God. Like, what do you mean by funniest story? Like, what does that, like, entail? Like...
I'm not the one telling the story, am I?
But, like, I don't know, like, funniest story, like, of all of humanity, like, all of my 19 years of living experience.
Yeah, like, what's, like, maybe stuff we did when we were kids that you look back and you're like, that was funny. I don't know.
Well, I can think of a time when, I don't know if this is the funniest story, but one time I was playing basketball with my brother, and the thing about, like, my neighborhood is that, like, there was a school next to it, so, like, all of the kids in the neighborhood went to the same school. We all knew each other. We were all close.
Yeah.
She was one of them. And so they would be over, like, every single day. We would, you know, they'd come to my house and play games.
It was always your house.
It was always
nobody
our house.
else's house. It was always her house.
Exactly. So one time I can think of a time. Actually, you know what? I have two stories. One time I was playing basketball with my brother. And I used to be, like, a very sporty kid. And my brother was the exact opposite. So when we played basketball, I kind of like juked him out and like went to the side, and like he kept going, like the momentum kept him going, and my like truck was like at the end of the driveway, and the window was open, and he flew straight into the truck, like straight, like through the window into the front seat of the truck. And then when he, like, opened the door to, like, let himself out, the alarm, like, just started going. And, like, we didn't know how to turn it off. So the alarm just kept going and going and going while we're trying to figure out how to, like, stop this damn alarm. The other time is when I pushed my brother under a car. Not a moving car.
The van?
No. I don't remember which car this was. But we were playing hockey. And I accidentally pushed him under the car. And then he was like, Olivia! You pushed me under the car!
He was like a little puny. Her brother used to be like, shout out to Nicholas. We love Nicholas. Her brother used to be like this little puny kid we'd always like tease. And now he's like taller than the both of us.
Yeah, it's actually kind of scary.
And it's just scary because we used to like tease him and like not make fun of. Will we make fun of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would make fun of him.
Oh, the other thing we did was we used to play like Charlie, like that like horror like little like pencil game.
I forgot about Charlie.
And so there was like 10 of us in our garage, and we'd be like,
God,
Charlie, like whatever, and then it would like move, and then we would like run around the block. Like it was so stupid. But like something would happen and we'd all go, ah! And then we'd run around the block for whatever reason. We decided to run around the block.
Charlie. Or when someone would like, we'd like all gather around and be doing it, and like there was always that one kid who like blew on the pencils for it to move.
Of course.
And we were just all convinced that like it was some like demon named Charlie. What was it, like a Mexican demon or something?
I can't even. Yeah.
Charlie. Or when we played Cards Against Humanity, that was fun. That was really fun.
That's always just an adventure. Yeah. Especially when we're playing with Nicholas.
Like kids.
Yeah.
We should not have been playing that game.
No, I don't know how we got access to that game.
I think I got it because I always looked older than I was. I got it at like chapters, but I don't think they really like cared. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten it, and I didn't think it was like that. Like I just thought like, oh, Cards of Humanity, like it has some funny like stuff, and I didn't realize it had.
You didn't realize the context.
I still have that exact same deck though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time.
What's your scariest story?
Okay. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay.
Do I know the story?
Actually, I don't know if I ever told you this. So, I think this was like Valentine's Day weekend, maybe 2 years ago. So, I might have been like 17 when this happened. Anyways, I was dating this guy. And we were, if you guys don't know, there's this big like plaza called like the Colossus. What? Why am I asking you like you know this?
Like I know what, bro. What?
Like it's the Colossus Plaza, or it's like there's like a big Cineplex and like there's restaurants and whatever. So with my boyfriend at the time, we were in the car, and this random man, like middle-aged man, drives like in front of the car and asks my boyfriend at the time to roll down the windows. And I'm like, and he does it, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, what are you doing? Why, like,
what possessed you?
Why are you doing this? Like, just tell him to go. But again, because my boyfriend at the time was so nice and had to help all these people and had to, you know, be such a saint, he did. And essentially this guy was like, I just dropped my daughter off at the movie theater. I don't have any money for gas. I left my wallet at home. Could you spare me some, like, $10, $20? I don't remember how much it was. And my boyfriend at the time, my ex, being the individual he was, got out of the car, gave the guy the money, and thought he was, like, doing some miracle work. That night, I go on TikTok, and I do some research, and I find out that this is a common scam that people do in this area. Ooh. And there were even instances where people who do this kind of scam have guns and will hold you at gunpoint and take all your fucking money. So I don't know if it was like my nono, or I don't know who it was watching over me, or I don't know what. I don't know if we were just lucky, but thank God he only took the money.
Holy.
Thank God he only took, like, he gave him money, and yeah.
Were you there for the shooting?
Yeah, I was there too. I'm surprised I didn't think of that either.
That was crazy.
No one shot anybody, but a gun was pulled out. But luckily the cops were already there because they were shooting fireworks illegally because it was on Canada Day. And I just remember, like, once that guy pulled out the gun, everyone ran for their lives. No one knew where they were going, because that part of it's like the park, and then there's just like forest and houses, and then if you walk a little bit more, there's the actual, like, where the lake is, and like where people walk up and down by the lake. But I wouldn't consider it scary because the cops were there, and if anything did happen, the cops would have ended it like that. In this case, though, anything could have happened that night.
And, like, how old were you?
I was 17 years old. So I don't know who it was watching over me. I don't know, but definitely it's just for people out there. If someone comes up to you and asks you for money, no matter who it is, if they're driving a car, if they look well off, don't take it. Like, don't fall for it. It's a scam. It's 9 times out of 10 a scam. But yeah, it was really scary. And I felt like after he did that, like, I felt like there was no protection there. Like, what, like, God forbid, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that was definitely a really scary experience of mine. And I want to put my story out there and everything, but this is definitely one of my stories where I want people to know, especially girls, young girls, if anyone, a man, a woman, and, anything in between, comes to you and asks you for money, don't give them money, because the next moment there could be like a gun at your head. You go in your purse, you take out the money, and then they have a gun to your head and you have to give them everything. So
yeah, just be careful out there, guys.
Yeah,
you hear these stories and you're like, it'll never be me, it'll never happen to me,
and it does.
Until it does.
Yeah. So definitely be very careful. It's definitely a scam that goes on in the Vaughan area. I can't really speak for any other areas. I'm sure probably downtown, of course.
Oh yeah, downtown for sure.
But definitely in Vaughan and like that area, it happens a lot. If you go on TikTok, there are countless people who will tell you the exact same story that I told you. And yeah. Is this my turn or your turn?
You're asking me, I think. The suspense.
Dumbest thing you've ever done. Oh, I know exactly which one I can say right now.
For you?
No, for you.
Really?
Smosh.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. That's not, no. We are not talking about that. That is not happening. I am not revealing that story to the internet.
I remember that.
No, we're not talking about this. This is not, I refuse for that to be on the internet anywhere in any capacity.
Yeah.
I do a lot of dumb things is the problem. So, like, there's too many to go through. I don't know. This is tough because, like, there's not one real thing that stands out to me as, like, something really stupid. Oh, just some of the things I've said. Like, I don't know.
Guys, I'm so sorry for not posting.
Okay, that was crazy. I made a YouTube channel when I was, 9, 10? That's probably the stupidest thing because...
You were 9
because I was 9 and 10 years old. Actually, you know what? You know what was even dumber than that?
What?
5 friends.
See, we're not going to talk about that.
But, like, why not? Why not?
We can
It
talk
would be
about
funny.
5 friends.
Like, it's been how long? It's been like, I don't know, 7
Almost
years?
10 years.
Yeah.
2015. Yeah.
We used to be a part of a YouTube channel when we were like 10,
Yeah.
11 maybe, called Five Friends. And it was like a group channel with like Alessia and I and like 3 other people, one of them including my brother.
Shout out Nicholas.
Shout out Nicholas again. And that channel amassed over 7,800 subscribers, and one of our videos had like 22,000 views. It was completely botted. The person who ran the account,
he definitely, and to this day, there was this thing called sub for sub, and it was like one of the first like those where it's like you put in your email to the YouTube account, you put like the YouTube account name, and then just like these bots will keep subscribing, because like overnight we only had like 3 videos and maybe like 50 views on each of those videos, and then the next day we just all of a sudden get 1,500 subscribers. Like, he definitely did something there. He either bought them with like his dad's credit card or his mom's credit card.
I have no idea.
Or,
but that's
I don't
probably
know
the dumbest thing we ever did, because the amount of hate we got for just like existing and posting videos on the internet, because like the people who weren't bots were just in there going like, you guys suck, like whatever. And like as 10-year-olds, that's an insane thing to experience. And a little while after, we kind of just all left it alone for a while.
I think he got rid of it, to be quite honest with you. I wish we still had those videos.
I do too. Because
I
you know
remember
what?
when I had to jump in the pool.
They were cringe. No question about it. But, like, it's nostalgia in a way. Yeah, like, it was a part of, like, our experience growing up.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even have them. But, I mean, no, I just remember jumping in the pool with all my clothes on because we were doing, like, a Minecraft skit and getting hit with a hockey stick. So you're, like, trying to recreate, like, the pickaxe. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And I think and then because your brother was obsessed with Minecraft, he had, like, all, like, those, like, Minecraft plushies.
The plushies.
And,
we had, like, the Angry Bird plushies, too.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many of them.
But, no, he definitely got rid of them, for sure. Which is sad. Oh, no.
Elementary school story.
Elementary school is, like, I have completely, like, wiped elementary school out of my mind. I was terribly bullied in elementary school. Like, it was bad. It was so bad to the point where I had to go to a completely different high school that was, like, out of my, like, school vicinity. Like, it was far.
It was far, yeah.
Because, like, we have a high school, like, really close by, and that's where everyone, well, you didn't go there, but most of the people from our elementary school went there. And I just knew, like, I can't deal with this for, like, any longer. So I had went to art school, which was traumatic but fun in itself. But I don't even know. Like, you know what? Okay. So in, like, grade 6, grade 5, I want to say, when the field was actually open, we would do, like, gymnastics.
Oh, yes.
We would do like cartwheels and, like, somersaults and, like, back
crazy.
tucks. So, you know, things happen, accidents happen, and I was doing a cartwheel when I actually could do a cartwheel. I can't do that anymore, but I was doing a cartwheel. I think it was in grade 6. And I was doing a cartwheel on the field, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just did it the wrong way. I didn't position myself properly. Like, I didn't do gymnastics, like, all the time, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But I fell on my back, and I heard a crack in my back, and it was really scary. I couldn't, like, I for a second, it felt like everything went completely numb. It was really scary. So the hospital had to come. The ambulance had to come and put me on a stretcher. And then one of the girls, you want to know what she's like? So they said, like, you guys can't do gymnastics anymore because it's a liability issue. Because, God forbid, I did a cartwheel and then, like, I broke my neck, or I screwed up my spine. Then it's a liability for the school, which makes complete sense looking at it now. But when you're a kid and you hear that, obviously kids want to blame the kid that, you know, fell, and that rule was made because of that kid. And I just remember, like, all these girls getting mad at me and, like, shunning me from the group because, you know, I just happened to get injured, which was, you know,
But the problem is that it literally could have been anyone, though.
Yeah, like, it was... We were on a field. The field was not done properly. It was, like, that part of the field where it was, like, dirt. And it wasn't, like, all one level. It was, like, slanted. So it literally could have happened to anybody. It just happened to happen to me. Luckily, nothing bad happened. I wasn't supposed to do physical activity for, like, a few weeks. And then I just started going to the chiropractor and haven't looked back since. But, yeah, that was definitely a fun elementary school experience, for sure. Having to go to the hospital.
Yeah, super fun.
And you didn't even know what was going on. I remember
No, I didn't.
I called when we didn't have phones, we like would call each other's like house phone. And I remember I was like, "Hey, just letting you know I'm back home from the hospital." Like your dad answered. And I think you were like out, and he was like, "Wait, you were at the hospital?" Olivia didn't say anything. Like, you didn't even know what was going on. So
I honestly had no idea what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
But I think I vaguely remember it happening, but like
yeah.
I don't think I really understood what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, I knew there was a huge commotion, but I don't really know. I don't think I knew who was, like, involved or anything like that.
Yeah, but, I mean, yeah. You live, you learn.
You live, you learn.
And I never did a cartwheel after that.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Whew.
How we met. You gotta tell the story.
But, like, I don't remember. Like, I genuinely don't remember.
Fine.
Wait. We met through, like, school.
Our moms.
Well, yes. Yes, that's true. So, our moms are, like, really, really good friends.
Yeah.
And we also went to the same, like, elementary school.
Well, they know that.
Well, yes, obviously. No way, really? Yeah, so we went to the same elementary school, you know, we met through our parents, and, you know, we've had our ups and downs, but, like, we've always just been, like, friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's just always been, like, a constant thing, no matter, like, the highs, the lows, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've always just still been there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we met.
We're
and we
mothers.
probably had tons of play dates.
Oh, yeah, I remember we had, like, a tea party. I remember
Man,
when
the
you
good
had
old days.
like, the Disney princess, like, wall, and there was, like, I think there was, like, a little, like, a thing you could climb up on, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're
And you
talking
had, like,
about.
all, like, the Disney, like, the shoes, like, the dresses, and we would, like, play dress up. It was so fun.
And, like, we, like, have been to, like, all of each other's birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like, we used to have, like, you know, pretty creative parties as a kid. I remember, was it you who had the No, it was the... I don't know. It was something to do with, like, a game show, like, style.
Yeah, that was me. We had, like, what was that game show called?
I don't remember.
It was, like, the one where I think you would have to, like, do it under a certain... It was, like, an actual, like,
Yeah, it was,
show.
like, under, like, a minute or something like that. But I don't remember what it was called. If you guys know what show we're talking about, can you put it in the Google form, please?
Yeah, or
please
just
and thank you.
comment below, or...
Yeah, or comment below.
Yeah, I
That
don't
works.
remember the show, but it was a party based off of that. And, like, we did, like, a bunch of, like, crazy little, like, games. Like, we did the one where you had to, like, put the Oreo on your forehead, and you had to, like, use your face muscles to get it into your mouth.
Oh my god.
And you had to do that under 1 minute. And that was just the whole party, just doing games and seeing who, you know, could do it under in 1 minute. And we were, like, these 8-year-old kids just, you know, trying to do it, which was really fun. But that was definitely a fun game.
Which parties of mine were you there?
The chocolate
The
one.
chocolate one.
The chocolate one was really fun.
We made chocolate.
What was another one? Oh, I remember we had, like, a dance party down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was, like, your 6th birthday.
Oh,
And we had, like, a dance party.
I do not remember that.
Yeah. Like I said, like, from, like, all of elementary school was such a blur. Like, I don't
Yeah.
remember, like, I have to really, like, think on it, but I remember the chocolate party. Like, that was, like, probably one of the most fun birthday parties I've ever been to.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
Oh my god, what is it? What is it? Liv, what is it? What is it? What is it?
Worst date you've ever been on.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad she got this one. Actually, you know what? I'm not glad you got this one because I think I know what it is.
You do know what it is.
Because I think it happened recently.
Recently? No. That wasn't... That was just more me being uncomfortable. But... Okay, I don't...
Because I have never been on a date, so I'm glad she got this one. Because I would not have a story for this.
It was like a mini golf date, and we were playing mini golf at a mini golf place.
Oh, I know this one.
And you know this one too because you hate the guy.
The walking red flag, we call him. Well, the name is out there now. It's out there now.
I think we were... I honestly did have an attraction to him for some time.
Until this mini golf date.
And I don't know what... Like, it just turned me off. Like, I don't know why. I just got the ick like this. And I regret not ending it then and there. I kind of let it on to kind of... Because I was like, oh, like, I can get over this. I was never attracted to the guy after that. And... I don't know if this is bad to say. Like, I'm sure this happened, but I think just because it was, like, the first date, like, one of the first dates, and, like, this happened. So, essentially, like, as he was bending down to get the f***ing golf ball, he kind of, like, mooned me. And I just got the ick right away, and I felt so uncomfortable after, and, like, it happened, like, many times throughout the date. And
like, really? It happened multiple times?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And, like, if you can't even, like, put yourself together, like, I'm sorry. Like,
that's fair.
Pull up your pants, bro. Like, that yeah. Like,
not much more to say.
There's not much more to ask. So just pull up your pants. You're gonna have to bleep that out.
I'm surprised that's the one you told.
Well, like...
You've had a lot of bad ones.
Not really. Like, I've been on some pretty, like, good dates. It's just... I just never, like, I don't know. I guess it just wasn't...
It's just nothing spectacular.
I just wasn't in the right place, I guess, to get into a relationship with any of these guys at the time.
Fair enough.
So I kind of, like, cut it off. But with this one, I regret not cutting it off sooner. Because then I just got hurt in the end. Or I got hurt in the end, so... Yeah, well, there's definitely more walking red flag stories that we can.
But this one particularly.
Yeah,
this
the walking red
flag.
Like, that is his name.
That is his name. I have called him that since day one. Day one. All right.
Oh, let me put my phone on silent.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me do the same. Oh. Okay. I have to answer a lot of school texts after this. I don't have a breakup story. I've never been in a relationship. So, like, how does this one work? How do we do this one?
I don't know.
How does this one go?
I'm not too sure.
Well, this is awkward.
I mean, as much as I would like to talk about mine, I feel like it happened so long ago that it's just not relevant. It was kind of like, I'll just say this, so, like, it was mutual. Like, I was more over it than him, for sure. You even knew this.
Yeah.
I remember going to her house the day before I was going to do it, and I was like, I'm ready. Like, I've never been so ready to, like, cut someone off in my life. Because, like, I've cut people off, like, it's normal. But with this particular person, I was so ready to cut them out. And you knew why. Like, we can go into that another day. I don't really want to go into it now.
It's a long story.
Not only that, there's a lot of pieces in the puzzle that need to be, like, put together in order to have the story really be understood. But definitely soon, we'll have a segment where we talk about that. And my initial goal for this podcast is to put my story out there and for you to put your story out there. Because I know that there are people who are going through the exact same thing that I may have gone through, or, they need something to kind of reassure them. And I didn't have that when I was going through this experience, and I would have loved to have that. So I know there's definitely people who would appreciate to have my story out there and relate to my story. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I was ready to do it.
Yeah.
And you knew I was ready to do it.
It had to be done.
It
Let's
had
be
to
real.
be
It had to
done.
be done.
It was good, but it was also really bad. That's all I'm gonna say.
There were a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, like good in some ways, but bad in a lot more ways.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely get into that
in a later episode.
We can have like a little like teapot. Let's like make it like a tea segment.
Ooh, that would be good. Okay, well, that wasn't really my question. That was more of a you
Oh yeah,
question.
let me pick another one.
I don't have a story for that one.
High school story.
Oh.
I'm so happy you got that one.
Really? Why? Because you have a lot of...
Well, not only that, I just... I don't know. I feel like you would have... I don't know.
Oh, God. Well, okay. I have a couple for this one. So I was in grade 9, and it was my first ever homecoming. And our high school kind of treated homecoming really seriously. Yeah. Because we were a more athletic-based school. So it was our first ever homecoming. I had never experienced a homecoming. You know, I was a little niner, freshman, whatever you want to call them. And so I was walking up the bleachers, and like the bleachers were basically like covered in people already. And my friends were sitting way in the back of the bleachers, so I was trying to like step over people to get to them. And then I slipped. Do you know this story?
No.
So I was walking up, and I guess I had slipped on someone's hand, and I slipped, and I started falling backwards. Like, I had completely yoinked myself backwards.
Shit.
The person who was at the top of the bleachers caught my hand, and there were like 5 people under me holding me up like this, and I was so embarrassed. Because, like, I'm in grade 9, like, these are all people who are older than me, and 5 of them are holding me up like this. One of the guys is, like, holding my hand, trying to keep me upright, and I'm like, thank you, and then I, like, run off.
She just runs, like, she doesn't even care. I love that for you.
Yeah, I'd say that was a high school story.
Almost like dying.
I literally almost like cracked my head open. Anyways. Park stories. Fun things we did at the park. So our area has a lot of parks and recreational parks and stuff like that because there's a lot of schools in our area. So going to the park was like a common thing. Like, it was very... I
remember that one time we kind of, like, all came together. Because, like, our school is really cliquey. Like, people were mean to each other. So, I don't know what happened on this miraculous day. Do you remember that miraculous day where, there was maybe 20 of us at the park? And we just all of a sudden got along.
Like... It was, like, popular kids, non-popular kids, like
nothing.
Literally from everywhere.
Like, there were no issues. Like, there were never issues. It was
kind of crazy, actually.
It was so fun, so nostalgic, but, like, I don't know what was in the air that day.
We played, like, what was it? We played either hide and seek or, like, manhunt or something along those lines.
We played, like, grounders. We were, like, doing, like, for, like, a good few hours. We were just at the park, like, playing with each other.
I have no idea what happened that day.
I don't know what was in the air. And then just, like, it went back to normal the next day.
That's so weird, but I, like, vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. That's actually crazy now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there would have been no other time within, like, the 12 to whatever years we knew each other that ever happened again.
That was, like, the only time. And then, it just went back to normal the next day. Everyone started being mean to the people they were being mean to, and...
Just, like, things got, like, cliquey, which they do. That happens.
Yeah.
We're running out of papers, guys.
Almost done.
Almost done.
Travel horror story.
Travel horror story.
There's like 2 or 3 left.
Huh. In terms... You can tell when, like, the light bulb goes off. So this was my first ever experience on a plane. And...
How old were you?
8, I think.
I think I know the story.
And this was my brother's and I's first ever experience going on a plane. And, like, in the entire airport, my brother was having a meltdown because he didn't want to leave Canada. And then he started to calm down as we were getting on the actual airplane. And, you know, our family had been, like, preparing for this trip, like, traveling with 2 little kids. And I don't know what it was, but once we hit that airplane and once we got on that airplane, my brain just went, no, I'm not doing this today. And then I had a meltdown on the plane. I tried to run off the plane because I didn't want to be on the plane because I didn't want to leave Canada. So I tried to run off the plane. My parents had to grab me and keep me on the plane because I wanted to leave.
Were you in the air?
No.
Oh,
we had
that
not
would have
left.
been funny if you were in the air and you
That would have been funny, but luckily I wasn't. But I don't know what it was. I just was like, no, I actually don't want to do this today, and had a meltdown. So I'd say that was a pretty horrific travel story. I stayed on the plane. We went. It was great. We had a great vacation. It was just taking that first step that I had a little bit of trouble with.
I don't think I've ever had a horror story. I think the only time was that I had something with nuts in it, like pistachios, because I'm allergic to pistachios. And, like, I freaked out a bit, but that was it. Like, I was fine after. But, yeah. I would have never done that on a plane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit older in my first plane, so that probably explains it, but...
Yeah, I was definitely young, but, like, we were ready. You know, we had a good time.
Is it your turn?
It's, yes, my turn to ask you a question. Craziest experience.
You know what? Like...
There's a lot. There's a lot to choose from there.
I don't even know. Give me something.
Well, now you've put me on the spot here. Well, actually, you know what? I've already answered this question at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, like, what's the craziest thing I've ever done? But, like, what's the craziest thing I've experienced?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of already answered that with the scariest.
That's scary, not crazy.
But, like, that's also kind of crazy. What's the craziest thing?
I don't even know, man.
What do you mean you don't know?
Like, I want to tell this one story, but then it's like, I feel like I could tell it another time.
Okay. You know what? We'll leave that one for the next...
But I can...
Do you want to allude to it?
No, I can think of one. I have, like, another one I can think of.
Let's hear it.
So, I went to Italy as, like, a big graduation gift for, like, being done high school. And I was there for about, like, a month or so. And I guess, like, I'm really into, like, the club scene. And, like, I'm really into, like, clubbing and going out and all that stuff. So that was, like, my first introduction to, like, the club scene in Europe. Which is like 10 times better than the club scene in Canada.
Agreed.
10 times better. People are just more lively. They want to, like, engage with, like, each other. They want to talk to you. Like, no one thinks they're better than you. Here, it's like people want to be the best of the best. Like, there's no judgment.
It's just not as fun here.
No. Because all they play here is rap. Over there, they play, like, good house, Euro, techno music, right? Because that's where it originated from. So when I was in Italy, I did have a boyfriend. But, like, obviously he wasn't there. So at the club, you know, Italian men, they come up to you and they ask you to dance with them, and, you know, they want to grind and, you know, do that kind of stuff. So I never told this story. I'm not a bad person for telling this story because I was like...
Do I know this story?
No, I don't think you know. So this Italian guy comes up to me. He wasn't good looking at all. But he comes up and he, like, kind of, like starts, like, grinding from behind and, like, doing that. And I'm like, no grazie. Like, no thank you. Like, I don't, you know, I have a boyfriend, whatever. I was going to be loyal and, you know, not do that kind of stuff. And then he's like, oh, you're in Italy. Like, he doesn't have to know. And I'm like, no. Like... I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. You know, I kind of wish I did do that, though, knowing what would have happened. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
like, you were doing the right thing.
I was doing the right thing.
You were doing the moral thing, and don't regret that you did the moral thing.
But it definitely was crazy because, like, guys don't do that here.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, they might.
That's, like, not even a crazy thing. That's just, like, something I was never used to experiencing. So it was crazy to me. But I definitely have more stories we can get into. But, yeah. And I'm not saying cheating's right. I'm not saying that, just to clarify myself. I'm not saying cheating's right. People who cheat are scums of the earth, whatever. I'm just saying, like, you know, if I knew back then what would have happened with that particular boyfriend, would I have, you know, engaged more with the guys in Italy? 1,000%. But I didn't know it was going to happen, so I didn't. Because I was a loyal person, and I still am. But I'm not saying cheating's good, so no one try to cancel me and say cheating's good.
Cheating? No bueno.
Yeah, we don't cheat.
What did I just say?
That was Spanish.
Oh.
You want to say it in Italian?
Sure.
No buona.
No buona.
No buona.
No buona.
No buona.
No buona.
I don't know why I said it. No buona. Yeah.
No buona.
Or no buono. Whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Last one. Most feral story.
Like, that in Craziest, they're like, that's the thing, like, I don't do feral stuff.
Are you a feral rat?
Like, am I a feral rat? I'm not really a...
No, you're not. I'm more of a feral rat. Also, quick ASMR, like...
I mean... That's crazy. I mean, I guess this isn't really a feral story to most people, but for me, I had gone clubbing for my first time in England. I was on a study abroad trip, and we had stayed up until like 3 a.m. and then came back. And like, I literally can't think of any other feral story I've had.
That's your most feral story?
Probably. What other feral stories would I have had? That's like, I don't do feral things.
Mine's being in a foreign country and trying to go back home and not knowing the language. Well, like, I knew the language, but when you're wasted, you don't know the language.
Well, yeah, when you're wasted, you don't know the language. But
luckily, I was with my cousin, and he was even drunk, too. He didn't even know where he was going. So that was, like, the even scarier part, right? But we were both drunk, so we thankfully made it home, and...
I guess it was just the fact...
That was feral.
Yeah, I guess it's just the fact that we were, like, in a different country. Like, this was my first time being across the ocean. So it was, like, the fact that my, at least, first clubbing experience was there, like, that's a bit wild. But that's wild for me.
I would say, like, I don't know, like, feral, I think of, like, hungover, like, 5 a.m. But, like
I've never
makeup.
Drunk.
You never... Yeah, you don't get drunk.
My
really
tolerance
drunk.
is kind of crazy, though.
I just remember, like, coming home, like, my makeup smudged, like, alcohol spilled on my dress, like, my hair messed up. Like, that's when I think feral. Like, and my most feral experience, like, being that way, like makeup smudged, hair crazy, you know, all that, was definitely that night. And we didn't know how to get back to the apartment. And it was really scary. But we got home eventually. We found our way. And yeah, then we were just feral. And I feel like we did some drunk phone calls too. So it's not just something I do here. I do it everywhere. So if you get a drunk phone call from me, you should be, like, super honored, I think. Or
that's true, actually.
You should be really honored, like, honestly, because they're pretty entertaining. Have you recorded me do it?
No, I haven't,
we should
but I wish I had.
We're going to do that. Next time I do that, which I'm not going to do it. I promise I won't do it.
Okay, sure. Let's see how long that lasts.
Next time, we'll record it and we'll show you guys.
So, like, a week then.
Okay, it's not going to be... When are you, like... Oh, it's not going to be a week, because we have school to worry about. It's going to be in, like, the summer, maybe.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, I think that concludes today's episode.
Yeah, it was fun. Don't cancel me. I don't think cheating is good. I'm not saying to cheat. I just to clarify for the second time, I'm just saying that if I knew what was going to happen in like a year or so or less than a year or so, I would have danced with that Italian guy, even though he was ugly. And
Girl,
I was
we are
drunk.
in the second episode and you're already getting
I'm already
canceled.
worried about getting canceled, but don't cancel me. Cheating's not good. And
Don't take down our Spotify account again, please.
yeah, someone took it down, but it's gonna be back up by the time this is up. But yeah.
Well then.
Don't cancel me. We'll see you guys in the next video.
What an outro. Don't cancel me, please.
We'll see you guys in the next video. I feel like Tana would say that too.
Yeah, but that's
She would say
Tana
that.
Mojo.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
It's okay. Like, I can say it too. We might not have the next episode up for a while because we're crazy busy with school.
It's the end of the semester.
Yeah,
It's
so
getting a bit crazy.
If we don't see you next week, we'll see you when we see you, guys. And yeah, keep asking us questions because that was a good question.
Yeah,
Whoever
that
asked
was a great
shout out to
question.
you. That was a great question. The craziest thing I've ever done. Don't get into the car with people you just met on Bumble, because they will try to. Another story time.
Yeah.
They will try to be cool and drive with their knee and almost like swerve into another car. So don't do that.
See, that was a crazy story.
Well, now that I think about it, yeah, no, it was crazy. But, and then don't go to car shows with that guy. And don't get gelato with him at the car show.
Wow. So specific.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it, my girls. Yeah.
We will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bro, will we actually get canceled?
No.
Okay.
People have said far worse.
Yeah.
People have bit their ex-girlfriends. Damn, I should have kept... Okay, there's